So joining me live on stage right now is one of the presidential candidates that we heard from this morning, Governor Martin O'Malley. Thank you so much for coming to the TWIP stage.
Joy, thank you. Good to be with you.
Now, obviously, in the live town hall this morning, we heard some passionate disruption, which is part of our American democracy. It is why we are here in this country in the first place, is because people disrupted and raised their voices. And particularly, it was focused on the Black Lives Matter movement. And particularly the question of what are you proposing as your policies on reforming criminal justice or changing the system overall. And I understand you didn't get a chance to respond in detail to that. But I want to ask something specifically, because towards the end in your explanation, you said the phrase all lives matter. You said the phrase white lives matter. But I want to ask you, do you understand the difference in responding in that conversation, in that context with all lives matter or white lives matter, when we're specifically talking about Black death that is not all inclusive?
I certainly do. And in fact, I believe what I first said was that Black Lives Matter before those other two phrases. And when I said those other two phrases, I meant no disrespect to the point, which I understand, and that Black Lives Matter is making. For many years ago, when I ran for mayor of Baltimore, majority African American city, when we had allowed ourselves to become the most violent, part of what I called us to as a people was to the justice of realizing that, yes, Black Lives Matter, and when we allow ourselves to assume that every year as a city, we just have to accept that 300 young Black men will die violent deaths, that we have to do a checkup from the neck up and realize as a people that if 300 young, poor white men were dying, we would have a different reaction to this as a state and as a metro area and as a city. So I meant that was a mistake on my part, and I meant no disrespect, and I did not mean to be insensitive in any way or to communicate that I did not understand the tremendous passion, commitment, and feeling and depth of feeling that all of us should be attaching to this issue.